Previously on Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation. Is gonna go all over the place and... No! He was my friend! How could you do this? Ah, suck it up, Wolf. And with that, the adventure continues. Welcome back, everyone, to Tomb Raider 4: The Last Revelation. I am Jonathan Wolf, and today, in this video, we're going to be starting the second to last area of the game, which is the Cairo section. So yes, in this episode and the next video, we're going to be tackling Cairo, which is my least favorite part of the game, no questions asked, or by a long shot. And yes, we're going to be starting with the first level, which is the City of the Dead. So let's go to it. So yeah, the Cairo section is pretty infamous because, yeah, it's very dark, it's very long, it's very confusing. There's a lot of bullshit parts we have to deal with, and I don't like it. So there you go. Okay, so here we are where we... Oops. Okay, so here we are where we started the level. Also, it is so dark that I cannot even see my screen. So let me, give me 1 second because I'm gonna close the curtains in my room. Okay, that is kind of better, but not really. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna... Why is Laura with the... What the heck is Laura doing? Why does Laura have a... Man, this game, man, I swear to God. Okay, let's take the Uzis, and we're gonna kill 2 guys. So yeah, we're gonna kill these 2 soldiers in here. And also, my game is way too loud. Let me lower it a bit. Okay. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to where we killed the first guy, which is right over here. Because he drops the Revolver, which is the final weapon of Tomb Raider 4. So yes, we can finally use our Revolver. Now the Revolver is basically the equivalent of the Desert Eagle. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over here. Because as you can see, there's a guy over there. You can kind of see him, but he's here. So yeah, we're going to pop him twice. We're going to shoot him twice, and we're going to kill him. And there's actually another guy over there in the distance. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to just shoot him from the distance. And then we're going to go back. Now, you may notice also that we're actually pointing at this turret. And if you want... Well, first off, if you want... first off, I guess I should mention that you can actually combine the LaserSight with the Revolver to actually aim down the sights, which is awesome. And yeah, basically you're going to see that this turret is kind of malfunctioning, and you can actually destroy it if you want. And to do so, what you want to do, you want to shoot that tank over in there. So yeah, if you shoot this, you're going to not blow it up. Okay, that's odd. Wait. There we go. Okay. So yeah, you have to shoot that tank to destroy the turret. However, yeah, that turret was not working, so there was really no point in destroying it, but I destroyed it just because. Okay, so now let's go into this bike, and this bike right here is by far one of the worst vehicles in the entire classic Tomb Raider series. I will defend the kayak to this day compared to this piece of crap. But yeah, basically this bike is pretty much the same as the quad bike from Tomb Raider 3. And yeah, basically you hold the action button to drive. So let's go ahead and run these guys over. There's another guy over here to the right. So let's run him over. And however, the one thing that I despise about this bike is going backwards. By pressing back, you can actually... Lara will just with I guess the power of physics will move the bike backwards, and that movement is so freaking slow that it's not even funny. And it's incredibly annoying, and I hate it, and I don't want to do it, and I don't want to deal with it because I hate this stupid bike. Okay, so once we... once we defeat these two guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drive up through this slope to land right here. So we can actually enter this little alcove. And in this alcove, there is a small med pack right next to the bike. But also, if we continue on, we can actually continue on with the level. So let's fall down into the water. And here we have this area. Alright, so in this area we have some bats, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use my explosive ammo. Just to kill them all really quickly. So there you go. And yeah, basically the way we're going right now is we're making our way to back to the beginning so we can open a door. Now back here in this alcove there were some flares and wide shot shotgun shells, and then we want to go into this opening right here. And right over here to my right, there is a laser sight. However, even though we picked it up, yeah, there's no laser sight in our inventory, which means that yeah, you can only have one laser sight at the time, which means that the crossbow and the revolver cannot have a laser sight at the same time, which is pretty stupid if you ask me, but whatever. Because to be honest, once you get the revolver, there's really no reason to give the crossbow the laser sight, unless you really want to like use the crossbow to snipe stuff. Although we will actually do that in the next level. Okay, so right here in the back on the right, we have this ledge we can grab, and basically we're gonna make our way to shoot a box. So yeah, basically we want to get to the end right over here. We want to get to the end around this point. And then what you want to do is you want to stay to either the left side or the right side. I actually do recommend you stay on the right side because we're going to have an easier time getting out of this place. Now you may notice right there that we have that container and we also have this swinging ball. And what you want to do is with the revolver, you want to shoot... No, not the crossbow. But with the revolver, you want to shoot the ball. Now, I highly recommend you use the revolver because if you use the shotgun or if you use the crossbow, the hitbox will actually destroy this thing. And you don't want to destroy this thing because if you destroy this thing, you're going to spawn locusts. And they're basically going to do chip damage as you go along. So yeah, basically what I like to do is I like to aim at the corner right here and then shoot the ball when it goes. Now, as soon as you shoot the ball, you're going to release an ice spirit. Or water spirit, I guess. Oh, actually, no, it's ice spirit. But yeah, basically what you want to do is you want to get out of here, and then you want to head into this pool. And yeah, basically, you're actually going to kill... And by going into the water, you're actually going to kill the ice spirit. Now, by killing the ice spirit, what it also did is that it froze that pool. Oh, whoops. It froze the pool that we entered. So now we can actually get on the other side. As you can see right here. And over here we have this lever. And by pulling this lever, we're going to open a door in that area where we got the second laser sight. So let's go back and let's go through the door. And the door is to my right. So yeah, basically, over there's the dead guy, and right over here is the door we opened. So yeah, another reason why we're in this area is because, you know, we have a bunch of ceremonial crap we have to deal with for set, but also, if you remember in the cutscene in the final cutscene of the video, or at the end of the last video, Von Croy captures Jean-Yves, and yeah, they're basically taking him hostage to this place. Okay, so in this room, in the back, there is a small med pack. And right over here, we have this box. Or this door. And in here, we can actually use the crowbar. And this will give us access to the first secret of the level. Now, in this secret, we have a large med pack and some Uzi clips. And I guess I should also mention that there are 2 secrets in this level. However, we cannot get the second secret yet. We have to come back here later once we have some modifications to our vehicle. Essentially. Okay, so now let's go up. And I think we got to crouch here. Yes, we do. And yeah, over here. And yeah, back here, we are back at the beginning of the level. And yeah, the door to my right is the door that we are actually going to open by coming through here. So with that said, let's go ahead and shimmy on to the right. And then we have to do... And then what we got to do is we got to grab a lever. And yeah, the lever is right there. So yeah, I'm going to align myself. Wait, hang on. Let me align myself. What weapon do I have? Okay, the revolver. Nice. Okay, good. Alright, let's run and jump and grab. And as soon as you open the door, we're going to spawn a guy. So let's kill him real quick. And unlike Tomb Raider 3, these guys do not have a desperation attack. So you don't have to worry about that. And he drops a small med pack. Now, you can go there if you want and explore. However, we need to open a door before we do anything. And we also need to do some other stuff back here. So, in the meantime, we're just going to go ahead and finish everything we have to do in this area for now. Or right now. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get the bike, which is right down here. And I don't know why I lit a flare, because we're going to toss it immediately. Alright, so let's go back in the bike. And now we have what it's probably the hardest part of this level. Because now we have to avoid some turrets. And then we... okay, no. Okay, so you may notice right here we got a crawl space. However, we cannot go into there yet because there's actually a closed hatch. And now we got to go open it. So... coming up next, we have what is, in my opinion, the hardest part of the level. And I highly recommend you save your game. However, what I am going to do is I'm going to gun it to that wall in front of me. Because as soon as you enter this area, 2 turrets are going to start firing at you. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to hog the wall right over here. And then what I'm going to do is there's a door over there. And basically you have to make a beeline for it as the turrets are shooting at you. Now, I am going to save my game because this part can basically make or break this level. So, let's go and save the game. And yeah, basically, this is the area where you're going to take pretty much all of your damage in this level. So, yeah, basically, what I like to do is I like to just gun it. Now, if you want, you can actually destroy the... You can actually destroy the turrets if you position yourself correctly. However, I'm just going to do this level normally, so let's just go with it. Okay, so right here we got this body. And as you can see, this body is on top of this hatch. And basically what you want to do is you want to stay near him and hold the action button so we can actually move this guy. Because basically what we have to do is we have to open this hatch so that we can actually crawl into this crawl space. And yeah, unfortunately, we cannot get into this crawl space from this position, which, honestly, I'm just going to say right now, this right here is a fatal flaw for Tomb Raider 4, because, yeah, you basically have to go the long way to get into this crawl space, which is, I mean, I kind of understand why, because, you know, limitations and all that, but if you think about it, it's kind of dumb. Also, yeah, look at this guy. He has his head burned and he's got his leg chopped off. Like, what caused this? My God. Alright, now we gotta get back, and we just want to just gun it. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here to the left, because over here to the left we have this alcove, which has a grenade launcher. Okay, now let me see real quick, because... Okay, let's see. 12, 4, 9. 9, 4, 22. Okay, so, wow, 10 grenades. So yeah, if you pick up a grenade launcher, or if you pick up a weapon that has multiple ammo, or that has multiple types of ammo, you will only get ammunition for the normal type. So if you pick up a grenade launcher, you'll get the normal ammo. If you get a crossbow, you'll get the normal ammo, and the same for the shotgun. Okay, so let me change back to my revolver, because I'm gonna go over here and kill some guys. So we got this guy, and actually, you know what? Let's be funny. Well, let's have fun with a grenade launcher. And yeah, basically, to show you real quick, right over here we have this jump. And basically what you want to do is you have to, with the bike, you actually want to jump this huge chasm. And on the other side of the chasm is the second secret. However, yeah, I'm not going to go for it. Now, if you want, you can actually get it now. But it's a very difficult jump. And yeah, I'm not even going to try it because I'm not good at this game. Or I'm not good enough to actually make that jump. But yeah, I'm going to show you how you can easily do it later. But yeah, basically, now that we're done with this, we're just gonna go back. And with that, we now took all the force damage in this level. So that is awesome. Okay, so now we're gonna go get out of the bike, and now we're gonna go into this crawl space. And through this crawl space, we're gonna be on the other side of that hatch where that body was. So let's go down here. And down here, there's going to be a lever. And a small med pack. Yeah, right there. Alright, and by pulling this lever, you're going to open the hatch where the body was. Now, if you didn't move the body, that hatch will not open. So yeah, make sure that you go and move the body before you go down here. And yeah, the hatch is actually behind me. Or the crawl space is behind me. So now let's go over here. And in here, we're going to have another lever. And what this lever is going to do is going to open a door directly above me. Which is right over there. And basically, now we have to make it to that door. Now, the objective is to essentially open a door that is next to the area with next to the building with the turrets, so that we can actually leave this area. So yeah, basically we're now moving on to open the door to the end of the level. And we have to go and we basically have to go back to the beginning of the level and go through that door that we opened back at the beginning, essentially. So, yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead and go back into the bike. And then we're just gonna go back to the beginning. Now I will say that this first level is really not that bad. Or this first Cairo level is really not that bad. But it's not until we get to the halfway portion of this area where it really starts to be a bit draining, especially considering that there are so many things you have to do. Yeah, that was a mistake. I forgot there was actually a guy here. But that's okay because that is actually the last enemy of the level. And yeah, I'm going to go down here to get some items, which are, I want to say, poison crossbow bolts. Yes, they have the green fletching. But yeah, basically the second half of Cairo is, you basically go all over the place. Like, I'm not going to spoil it yet, But if you check Stella's Tomb Raider site on the Cairo levels, they basically show a map, and by looking at that map is gonna give you a headache, because yeah, there is so much back and forward in this area that is not even funny. Especially if you want to get all the secrets. Yeah, basically what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to go over here. I'm gonna go to the top, and then we're gonna make this jump over here. And then we're going to head up over here if Laura can make it. And then I gotta get off the bike. Now I am gonna get my shotgun because there's gonna be some bats. And 205, my goodness. Ah! No, I'm not dying to a bat. Alright. And here we have another lever. And this lever, what it's going to do is going to... Oh my god, you can barely see it. But it's going to raise a platform that is going to allow us to get to that door that we opened previously. Alright, so let's very slowly back off. And then let's climb the ramp. And oh my god, Laura, come on. I hate this stupid bike, seriously. Like, okay, the one thing I hate about this bike more than anything is going backwards, because it is so fucking slow. Also, oh my god, okay. Alright, let's go back here. And yeah, to get out, you have to go through here. Alright, now we got the scary part, and that is to drop off and hopefully not die. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this guy over here, and then I'm just gonna get off from this thing. Alright, and the platform that we raised is back here. It's right in front of us. And yeah, basically this block right here is the block we raised. Okay, here. Alright, so now we are going to go into this next area. Now, as soon as you emerge from here, we're gonna see another turret. However, this turret is actually malfunctioning, or is actually broken, so it's not gonna fire at us, which is awesome. Now, you can destroy it if you want, but I'm not going to, since, well, there's no reason to do so. Okay, now we gotta prepare the revolver, and I guess I should mention that the revolver will actually give you, you know what, since I destroyed the last one. Boom. But yeah, basically revolver ammo will give us 10 ammunition, or 10 bullets. And yeah, as you can see right there, we've been getting pretty much a lot of revolver ammo, and we only have 24 shots. So yeah, unlike the Desert Eagle, you don't get a lot of revolver ammo, which is very interesting. Okay, so in this area, as you can see, well, you can kind of see it, but right in front of me is the building with the turrets. So yeah, as you can see, those are the turrets that were firing at us when we went to that room to move the body. And basically, if you go past this block, you will be in range for the turrets to shoot you. Now, if we take our binoculars, you may notice that there's actually a red barrel over there. And basically, what you have to do is you have to shoot that barrel. So what you want to do, you want to stand on the middle-ish of this area and then just shoot at the barrel. And then what it's going to do is it's going to make a helicopter blow up, which is going to also destroy the turrets on that building. So now we can actually go over here and cross to the other building. So yeah, let's go ahead and do a running jump. And over here, there are a couple things. There is a small med pack here in the corner. And we also have this lever. And this lever is going to open the way to the end of the level. So yeah, there's the doors. And now we can actually go, and now we have to go back to the bike and finish this level. Okay, no, there's nothing here. Alright, now if you drop the bike, you can actually just go down, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, we're going to just take the way back. Plus, I think that if you drop down, you're going to take some fall damage, and I don't want to do that. But yeah, basically the door is right there. So now we have to make it back to the bike and go into the next level. Because yeah, in order for you to go into these level transitions, you need the bike. Because the bike is basically an important asset for this section. So if you don't like using the bike, well, sucks to be you, because you have to use it for some parts, but not all the parts. I will say that the bike is more important in this level, as well as the end of the interconnected Cairo section. But other than that, Cairo is, I would say, 80% on foot. To some extent. Maybe 85. Alright, so with that said, let's just go ahead and head into the door and move on to the next area of Cairo, which is the Chambers of Tulun. And this level's pretty short. We don't have to do a lot of stuff here, but we have to fight a really big enemy. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do right here is I'm going to go to the right and run over this guy. And then I'm going to backtrack because... Actually, let me put the bike facing this direction. Because, yeah, we don't want to go forward because there's actually a guy over there on that balcony. You can kind of see it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, for the first time in this playthrough, I will be using the poison crossbow bolts. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my laser sights and I'm going to shoot this guy. So yeah, you see the blood splatter right there. And then we're going to go into this building right here. Now, basically, the way the poison crossbow bolts work is that they will dwindle the enemy's health for a bit, and after some time, and basically, if you shoot them once, they're basically gonna die, and it doesn't. And I don't think it matters with which weapons. So if you shoot them with their pistols or just a normal crossbow bolt, yeah, they're gonna die immediately. So, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get the shotgun prepared. And the first thing I'm gonna do, actually no, I'm not gonna do here. I'm not gonna do anything here. Instead, we're actually gonna go around this area because we do have some grenades. So yeah, we got ammo from a gun that we don't use a lot. I mean, to be fair, the only reason I don't use the grenade launcher is because you take damage when you use it. Which is funny because if memory serves me well, this is the only game where the grenade launcher actually does damage to you. Or at least the only classic game. Because I don't think there's actually a grenade launcher. Because I don't remember if there's a grenade launcher in Chronicles. And I know for a fact, and I don't remember if there's a grenade launcher in AOD. Then again, that's the game I want to play more because yeah, to jump the gun a bit, I've only played Angel of Darkness twice. So, yeah, there we go. And when I was editing Tomb Raider 3, which was back in February, yeah, I actually played the game for a third time. So, yeah. So that was something. Okay, so right over here, if we jump and grab and pull up right here, we can actually make our way to a secret. And speaking of secrets, when you leave City of the Dead for the first time, you should have 55. And when we leave this area, we should have 57. Or when we get to the next area, we should have 57. But yeah, basically, right over here, we're going to go through this crawl space. And we're going to head into the first secret of this level. And here we are. Okay, so this secret has some flares, a large med pack, some revolver ammo, and crossbow bolts. And I don't know what type they are, so let's see. And they are poison. Okay. Awesome. Alright, so now we gotta go back. And now we have to fight a Minotaur. Yes, I'm serious. We're fighting a Minotaur. And this guy can be kind of annoying. Or this guy can be kind of deadly. Because he does this hammer attack. Where if you're not careful, he can actually combo you to death. So yeah, basically, as soon as we go over here. Yeah, check this guy out. And yeah, basically just to show you how he attacks. He's basically going to prepare and then he's going to pound the ground. And he's going to do that until you get out of the way or you're dead. Or you're dead. And basically, the idea of this guy is we want to trap him in this building right here. And also, this guy is really fast. Yeah, as you can see right there, he's over there now. And yeah, basically what we have to do is we have to get to the top of this... Oops. I went the wrong way. Is we have to trap this guy on this building so that we can actually pull a lever and also climb a ladder so that we can actually move on to the next area, which is the Citadel gate. And yeah, basically what we have... And yeah, basically this guy will stay here no problem because we will dangle bait him a lot. So yeah, make him going away or going back to his hidey hole is not gonna be a problem. So yeah, with that said, let's go ahead and go around this ladder. And alright, yeah, we have to for some reason we have to put our feet in so we can actually go around, which is kind of dumb. Now, something I forgot to mention about going around corners is that if you let go before the animation concludes of you shimmying around the corner, if you let go of action, you will drop off from the previous ledge you were. So if you're in ledge 1 and you're turning around to ledge 2, if you let go of action, you're gonna drop off from ledge 1. And yeah, that's basically how it works. Okay, so this level right here is going to shut off this, I guess, cathedral area. However, the doors are timed. And we don't want to close the door yet because there's actually a secret we want to get. And the secret is directly right over there in front of me. So what I am going to do is I'm just going to run and jump this and grab this rope. And then I'm going to head to that opening on the right. Now you may notice down there's actually a beetle. And yeah, basically that's actually a new enemy. But yeah, let's just swing over there and jump into the secret. And yeah, as you can see, when we come over here, we're gonna activate that guy. And here we got some white shot shotgun shells on this secret, and also a large med pack. And also, this level has what is by far the most obnoxious song in all of Tomb Raider 4. Like, don't get me wrong, this soundtrack is pretty good. Has some really good tracks, but, oh god. But there are a lot of things that I just do not like about... But this song is just so repetitive, and if you're playing the PC version, you have to... It's gonna go on loop for pretty much every time you go into this level, which is really stupid. And speaking of this song was actually supposed to be in Tomb Raider 3. Because this song is actually an alternate version of Willard's boss theme. Because yeah, Dr. Willard in Meteorite Cavern was actually supposed to have a boss theme. However, in the PlayStation version, that song got removed. You can actually hear that song if you play the original PC version or the remastered version, which is really cool. I actually kind of like that song, to be completely honest. Okay, so now that we got the secret, let's go ahead and pull this lever. And when you pull this lever, you're gonna get a cutscene. And basically, if you see the Minotaur in this flyby, that means that you trapped him, and basically you are the best. Congratulations, you trapped a Minotaur. You are now a bounty hunter. Okay, but now we have to get out of here. And we want to be fast because, again, like I mentioned, these doors are timed. Now, the timer is honestly kind of generous, to be completely honest, but you still want to work fast. Because we also have to do some stuff before we leave. Now, the reason we want to trap this Minotaur is because if we don't trap him, he's going to prevent us from climbing a ladder. But let's go ahead and swing up to this point. And let's kill you. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to my crossbow. So we can actually kill that guy that I sniped with a poison bolt. And yeah, basically the reason we want to come over here is because as you saw by the cinematic or by the flyby, the door that we entered this cathedral at first is now shut. So we have to find an alternate way to get out of here. And yeah, as you can see right here, we're back on the bike. Now before we move on, we're gonna shoot this guy in the nuts. And as you see, one shot will kill him. Okay, so now we have to make it to the other side. Now, we also have this jump, which is kind of scary. But if you hug the left wall, you're going to make it no problem. Now, oh, I was too slow. But yeah, if you're lucky, you can actually run off that beetle. But I'm just going to blow him up. Alright. Oh, turn around, Laura. Alright, and right over here, we have a lever similar to the one from Guardian of Samarkand. And basically, for this one, you just want to pull 3 times. And this will give you enough time to cross the door, which is right over here. And yeah, basically here is the ladder that we can actually climb. And yeah, basically the reason why the Minotaur will actually pound the ground, which is going to cause a shockwave that for some reason it will prevent you from climbing this ladder. And yeah, around this time, yeah, as you can see down there, the Minotaur is free. So yeah, they basically give you enough time for you to actually climb the ladder normally. But there we go. That is it for Chambers of Tulun for now. So now let's move on to the final level of this video, which is the Citadel Gate. Alright, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to drop down here and we're going to get a cutscene. I said we're going to get a cutscene. Oh, we got to jump up here. Okay, now we get a cutscene.
What in God's name has happened here? Where are the rest of my men?
I banged into a couple of them. They appear to have sealed off all the exits.
Yes, this is good. You must help us to liberate the city.
I'm just here for directions. I need a route to the Citadel.
This is not so good. This is where the main activity takes place.
Activity?
We encountered it as the skies began to darken. A creature from our ancient past. It tore through my men like a firestorm. I managed to station our ammunition truck before the beast with a mind to igniting the explosive device in the rear. But with renewed vigor, it forced us back. It was as if it knew of our plans.
Beast or no beast, Sarge. I've got to get into that building.
You have spirit, perhaps. As we retreated, we have mined some of the streets to prevent contamination. 2 of my men are still in the area, out by the northern cemetery. One of them holds the frequency for the mine detector. The other holds the second half of the code for the explosive device.
And if I find them?
Tell them Sergeant Aziza sent you. I heard your motorbike. Once you have the codes, take me on it to the ammunition truck. I shall eradicate the blockage. But hurry, I am not long of this world.
Alright, so here we go. We got Sergeant Aziza's, and basically he's telling us that there's this huge creature that is basically killing their people. And also, yeah, basically the final objective to get into the last level of Cairo is we basically have to get the bike to Sergeant Aziza's. If we do this, we will beat we'll beat the interconnected section of Cairo, and good, congratulations, you will complete the worst part of the game. Now, as soon as you end the cutscene, you want to take a step back, because here we have some revolver ammo. Alright, and now we have what is probably the more dangerous part of this level. So, okay, first of all, I'm going to save my game, because I did not save in Chambers of Tulun. And also, this next part can be very, very deadly, because as soon as you move forward, we're going to spawn this giant dragon creature, or giant dragon lizard. And basically, what I am going to do is I'm basically going to make a beeline for that archway you see over there. Now, I don't know if you can see it because it's too dark, but over there on the right side of the screen, there are some items. However, I'm not going to get them now. I will get them on the way back, because basically, when this dragon spawns, he's just gonna stand there, just roaring his ass off. And yeah, basically, he's not going to shoot fire, which is a homing fire shot. And unlike Willard, it's not truly homing. Now, another thing I want to mention is that to the right, there's actually a crawl space that has some items. However, because this is a no medpack run, and I don't want to exploit a load screen to refill my health, I'm going to bypass them. And the reason why I'm doing it is because if you go into that crawl space, you're gonna spawn locusts, and they will start doing chip damage at you, which is something I don't want to. Or it is something that I don't want to suffer. But yeah, basically, with all that out of the way, let's spawn this thing. Yeah, look at this guy. So scary. So yeah, right there's the ammunition truck. But we're gonna just ignore him. But yeah, basically, when he spawns, he's gonna start running his ass off. But yeah, just run ahead, and you'll be fine. And I don't know how I do it, but by jumping at a certain point, you're actually going to avoid locusts from spawning. So that's awesome. Alright, so we avoided that dragon, which is pretty cool. And hi, why are you here? Oh, maybe because I backtracked. Wait, let me reload the game, because that should not have happened. Okay. Let's try that again. Yes, you know. Yes, you can scream. You're very scary. I wish I could just shoot you until it dies, but whatever. Alright. Let's just go ahead. But yeah, to my right, there's actually an area where you can get items, but I'm not going for it. But yeah, basically, we can avoid locusts if we jump at a specific point. And there we go. Now, make sure you don't go back, otherwise you're going to spawn the locusts anyway. Okay, now the first place I'm going to go is here to this alcove to the right. And in this alcove, we do have some gators. Although these gators look pretty weird, or pretty unique. If I light a flare, maybe I can show it. And if we go over here even more into the crawl space, we're going to spawn another one. But yeah, they have these weird patterns. They kind of look like Amit, like the god Amit, or goddess, I think. I mean, if Moon Knight taught me anything, is that Amit is female. So there you go. All right, and in this gator den, we do have some revolver ammo, some crossbow bolts, and I want to say a medpack, or no, that's actually it. And we get poison bolt crossbow ammo, or poison crossbow ammo. All right, so now that that's taken care of, now we want to go into this opening right here. And this is, I would say, the main puzzle of Citadel Gate, or actually the only puzzle in Citadel Gate. But yeah, basically we have these sarcophagi with some symbols on the top. And basically, if we look up here, we can actually see that these symbols correlate to some numbers. Now you may also notice that we have this container right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my explosive crossbow ammo, and I'm just going to shoot this thing. And by shooting it, you're actually going to drop this thing. You're going to see what the other symbols are. And yeah, basically, and as you can see, we have these levers with some numbers. So we got 1, 2, 3, and we have 4 up over here. So yeah, we got 4 right over there. And yeah, basically what you have to do is you have to pull the lever so you can actually match the combinations of the sarcophagi. So as you can see, we got... okay, so let's check this sarcophagus. So we got a weird trident. So we got a U with a tail, and we got an H, or a double H. And we're going to see that the double H is 1, and the weird U with a tail is 3. So basically, we want to pull levers number 1 and number 3. And once you pull both of them, you're going to open the sarcophagus. Now, unlike levels like Palace Midas, where you have to do one combination and then the other, we can actually input the second combination to open both sarcophagi. Now, if we look at the other one, we see that we have the double H, we have a lightning, and then we have a moon. And yeah, basically, as you can see by the combinations, it's basically every lever but the third one. So what we're gonna do is we're going to pull lever number 4. We're going to pull lever 3 back up. And then we're going to pull lever numero 2. And by doing so, we're going to open the second sarcophagus. Now, the first sarcophagus you want to go is this one to the left. Because in this one, we have a door. Never mind. Okay. We want to go to the other one. Yeah, we want to go here on the hole on the right. And in here, we have a lever where we can use the crowbar. And by pulling the lever, we're going to open that door on the other hole. And down here, there's going to be a hole where you can put your hand on. Now, as soon as you enter... Actually, no, there's a lever. Now, as soon as you pull it, take a listen. Well, first I was going to open a door, but also, we're going to spawn some locusts. And these locusts will do chip damage. However, if you crouch and just... If you crouch, you're actually going to minimize your hitbox, and the locusts are not going to deal a lot of damage to you. So yeah, when locusts spawn, you can actually crouch and take minimal damage. Also, I am going to prepare my shotgun, because as soon as we enter this next area, we're going to spawn some bats. They always come in two. Okay, now as we go up these steps, take a listen. Did you hear that? So every time, so in these levels, every time you hear like something just breaks, that will actually trigger locusts. Now, when the locusts spawn, what you want to do is you want to, oh no, is you want to get over here where this rope is, so that you can actually trigger this cutscene. And while the cutscene is playing, you will not take damage from the locusts, which is awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to save my game, because now we have an annoying rope section, because we also need to get a secret. So what I'm going to do is we're going to save the game, and then we're going to grab this rope. And then what we're going to do is we're going to climb all the way to the top. And then we're going to aim behind us to the left. So basically right there. And basically what you want to aim is for that bell that is over there in front of us. Because over there, there's actually a crawl space underneath the bell that actually has the secret. And yeah, basically, once we get to the top, we want to go down. And then, what I like to do is I like to aim directly at the bell. And then we're just going to swing. And this should put you with the corner and kill you immediately, because these ropes fucking suck. Okay, so let's reload the game and try again from there. Okay, so now let's go again. Grab the rope. And you know what? I'm just gonna YOLO it. Let's see if it actually works. Okay, so yeah, my mistake was that I was actually aiming directly at the bell. So, and yeah, what I wanted to do is I want to aim to the left side of the bell. Okay, so let's go back to the top to minimize the swing momentum. And then we're going to aim around here-ish. Alright, so let's see if we die or not. There we go, much better. Okay. So yeah, you want to aim at the left side of the bell instead of directly at the bell. And then what you want to do is you want to grab the ledge, let go and grab, and go into this crawl space to claim, I want to say the only secret in this level, but also the final secret of this video. And this secret has a large med pack, and I want to say revolver clips. No, we have explosive crossbow bolts. Awesome. Alright, unfortunately, we have to get back on the rope. Now, I say unfortunately because when you go back to the rope, more locusts are going to spawn. So yeah, we have to deal with more spawning locusts. Now, instead of crouching, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a beeline for the rope. So let's go ahead and aim at the rope, and we're just going to go over here. And yeah, basically with the swinging momentum, we're actually going to not take a lot of damage from the locusts. And then once we get to the row, we want to go directly straight to this tile right here, or this balcony, I guess, over here. And yeah, basically now we have to do some rooftop shenanigans. And as soon as we jump over here, we're going to spawn a beetle. And I'm going to use my explosive crossbow ammo, because these guys can push you off. There we go. Yeah, these guys can actually push you off very easily. So it's kind of similar to the wasps from Lost City of Tinos in Tomb Raider 3. Probably one of the most obnoxious enemies in the entire franchise, but I mean, hey, considering I died in Tinos, I didn't have to deal with them, so there you go. Okay, so now we have to make a running jump for that platform you see over there. Now, if you want, you can actually grab this ladder and go around the corner. However, I'm just going to jump over here. And this also spawns another beetle. So I'm just going to shoot at the wall and not deal with the dumb auto-aim. And yeah, basically, when you go around the ladder, you just land down there, and then you just go to the platform I'm standing on. And then, you may notice we have this monkey bar. And basically the idea is you have to basically take that monkey bar to that ledge you see over there. However, I'm just gonna go for it. Yeah, there's no need for the monkey bar. And as you can see, up here we have a small med pack. So let's pick it up. And now we are almost at the end. So now we have to jump over here. And I believe one last beetle will spawn. No, it doesn't. Okay. And then we just want to do our running jump to this opening over here. Alright, and now we have a very, very tricky jump, because now we have to deal with some bats. Somewhere. Or a bat, I guess. But yeah, now we have to deal with a very tricky jump, because now we have to make a jump over to that ledge over there. And basically, what I like to do is I like to go to the corner, and then I just do a running jump. Now, as soon as we get over here, we're going to spawn another beetle. And yeah, I'm just going to use the shotgun for this one. Ah! I think I'm shooting... I think I'm shooting at the truck, so yeah. And oh my god, these guys are so annoying. Okay. And over here where this truck is, we have a bottle of Nitrous Oxide. And this thing is going to be very important because... Or Nitrous Oxide Cannister. Because by using that Nitrous Oxide combined with something else, we can actually upgrade our bike. Alright, so now we gotta get out of here and basically just do a running jump for the slopes. And you're actually gonna make it just fine. Alright, and now we gotta make it back through the dragon. And unfortunately, we have to deal with some locusts. Or we also have to deal with some locusts. So what I am gonna do is I'm just gonna gun it. Similar to last time. However, this time we gotta be quick because you know we have this guy's gonna start shooting fire. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here so that I can actually get these items. Also, locusts, leave me alone. And while we're here, we're completely safe from the dragon's fireballs. And yeah, in this area we have some grenades, normal grenades, and a small med pack. Alright, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for this guy to fire, and then I'm gonna make a beeline to Sergeant Aziza's. Also, this guy's head is facing backwards. Like, look at this thing. That's the good old PS1 magic. I love it. Alright. So let's go over here. And ladies and gentlemen, we did Citadel Gate without using a med pack. That is awesome.
Your bike will need modifications to clear some of the larger obstacles. Nitrous oxide connected to the carburetor should give you the extra punch. Go, guy. Bring me the codes.
Sergeant Aziza's, your people have been shooting at me ever since I got here, and you're just basically like demanding I do stuff for you. Like, my God, what is wrong with you people? Like, seriously, this guy's like Willard, saying like, "Oh hey, Laura, come on in, make yourself at home," and I'm like, "Motherfucker, your people are shooting at me ever since I got here. Like, the hell is wrong with you people?" Good Lord. Okay, so here we are back at the Citadel Gate. And I guess just to show you real quick what I mean by you cannot climb the ladder. So yeah, basically we're at the bottom, and if I try to climb the ladder, yeah, as you can see, this guy's gonna pound the ground, and I'm basically going to let go of the ladder. So yeah, basically you need to trap the Minotaur if you want to go to the Citadel Gate. Now, there are some versions of this game where you can actually climb the ladder with the Minotaur, like, in here. But, yeah, my version is not the one. Or, you know, considering this is Tomb Raider 4, it's probably a bug. Alright, and with that, we are done with this area. Now, something really funny you can do is that if you position him at a specific point, you can actually kill the Minotaur with your bike, which is something that I never knew was even possible, which is awesome. Alright, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go up this ramp. And with that, we are now on the next level, which is trenches. And this right here is my least favorite level in Tomb Raider 4. So yeah, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to just drive over here. I'm going to get off the bike. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to save my game because we are done with this video. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching this episode of the Tomb Raider Marathon. Next time in Tomb Raider 4, we're going to be doing the second half of Cairo by tackling the trenches, the Street Bazaar, and the Citadel itself, which is the last level of the... of the Cairo section. Now, however, I'm also going to go back to Chambers of Tulun and City of the Dead. City of the Dead to get a secret, and Chambers of Tulun to actually get a key that we need. Although the key is completely optional, and you'll see what I mean when we get to it. And just to show you real quick, our final stats should be 58 out of 70 secrets. So yes, we're almost there, guys. We're almost there with the secrets. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching this episode of the Tomb Raider Marathon, Tomb Raider The Last Revelation. I'm Jonathan Wolf, and I will see you all in the second half of the Cairo section. Alright? Take it easy, everyone.